Nti mayan so aso. Nti no, oda so gina authentication ne certification na aso ye oda so ye wo page 31. Oda so gina hɔ a. Ene hɔ no wo ka se. SBC no mo de bae no na free foreign embassy. Say certification ne authentication anye den amaso. Nti nko so omutimi masa execution no ekoso said de be ya anya sa nipa na o execute krata no anko se e fresh nipa no e ma ne be kasa e fa krata na o ye de o authenticate ye to show adekora o authenticate ye na etimi akasa kire court ma court hu adekora omode aba was it but the fact still remains say document was not certified or identified as prescribed by law nti no sembra no certify o krata na nti e hono na o ka say German embassy ebi ni Ghana na ebi ni Ghana so nti no na eno na e kire adekoro emre mu no ye wadekoro nti a German embassy ebi ni Ghana nti sa ne ma ne kra kire say German emra no e foreign to Ghana nti no ko say omutimi di section 161 no so ka section 161 ma kasa o nkaya classy it was say the proof of a civil marriage. That is before I prove civil marriage, and I said, yeah, friend, ordinance marriage. No, it require documentary proof. There was a certificate. Okay, I say, yeah, come back on a certificate, and then your money prove ordinance marriage. And to walk out, I said, before I prove it, I was say, oh, certificates I actually. You know, some marriage license need together with other executed documents, photos, no, and anka, no. Ebetimi ama yehu se civil marriage bi ho so we no aka say pictures ne neema no cannot be proved by court as it is in the case of customary marriage nti say customary marriage so I don't say pictures me ba pictures nti so the pictures ba dey ebetimi aware bia na certificate no na dance between sa aware mienu nti o say the plaintiff very mama Akosua Serwaa did not tender in evidence of any video so one tender in evidence of any video aside the purported marriage certificate. Also, Exhibit 0 series no was tendered in evidence through the offense like defendant witness 1 after the plaintiff had closed their case, and so the defendant could not cross-examine the plaintiff witness on same. It's a video no. I could do. Exhibit 0 series was photographed purporting to be the plaintiff and the deceased signing a document. Without the marriage certificate. And or a video, the court cannot prove the civil marriage on a photograph alone. Especially in the era of photo shoots, artificial intelligence. I know I cannot. The court is cautious in accepting. The court is cautious. That is a court to know what to know. And I say, "Were careful? Say, what jig infoni niema atum. Esan enembra ye woman inti without further credible corroborating documentary evidence, where proof of a fact demands a strict documentary proof. Thus, the court finds it as a fact. Say plaintiff no ya maami Akosua Serwaa no wentimi improving na ware no o ka say wo mo ware e wo German na ware no no ne senti she wentimi unsatisfy the presumption say ware no it was authentic. She contracted where is Nasa baby that the marriage presumption that she contracted the marriage by providing an authentic, identified and a certified copy of a marriage certificate. Consequentially, for the contradictions, lack of authentication or identification, the lack of exhibits in our list, BB1 and C, are hereby rejected as they have no probative value and will not be considered for the purposes of proving a civil marriage between Yemami Akosua Serwaa and Daddy Lumba. Into one jing krata na Yemami de baye nantu. Krata no de baye nyina wanyantu. Say nti awanyantu no makade na ntime nyina hankade wa kyerem wato ne bo akyerkyerem nti wanyantu esan se wo munni embremu de efe ne probative value se mra ye ka se wuti ade ni probate that say elaki legal strength and can say any ahode ana say embremu emremu to me authority be so what I say eni bi ne senti wanje antum. And so I say this court has the right to accord not to accord the said exhibits any probative weights and I make an emunyedu into the court no right to say 1 year to now embrano so settle say inadmissible evidence evidence to be into no has been received with or without objection. It is the duty of the trial judge into judge, and even though I be our evidence be no judge and I said the NSA will be say evidence now the buy no a bit me a judge to the obuasem na and I say yent me engine to me until a judge and I said and so. And if it is not rejected by the trial court, it will be rejected on appeal. It is one rejected wa hakra. Assembly ko appeal or be rejected because the same probative value it will be subjected to it. And no ana ye mame during that or can wa say no. So this is because the duty of the court is to arrive at the decision upon legal evidence. I just said the embrane say no, san embrane bede. E beda no bobo cases is my or my friend pom. And I know versus Rome. And no my Jackson Smith versus KLM Dutch Airlines ni nyina wo nti o say on the strength of the above authorities no wa exclude marriage certificates ni nyina every assembly mu we every one so also consider section 5 any 1613 of the evidence act no in rejecting those exhibits na enti no rejecting and the na say mo hu ba bia yeguso ayeye de ye to
Ebusenche bia na mdi video bi ba so mo atese eyeye mame ba kwa yesu so ye lawyer ni echere eye ensemu about mama Akosua Serwaa ni Lumba wu achi sensemu nyina echere mu sa part no dia beso mo ma ya de mo hweme de nto aso enso eto amoso na ye mame sem a wo chere mu ne de eno ena chese ye beka ye sise 30 something pages a eba abotene ye mame nya abotre everydi ni nyina achere mu dia ba akanka sa twika sem am ye nyina se de be ya ye beti ase yiye papa na nsem a wo chere mu nyina no ebia yetie mani kosi we be hu se mama Akosua Serwaa appeal no obenya akọ ana onko ensam no media matie nti am bechi ma chew no na yetie wie nso a ye be hu se mama Akosua Serwaa dadi Lumba oware no ena omujaye ana se wanware ne kura Germany wanom wona empra twe ana se eyedi ade na mama Akosua Serwaa na den time odi ni papers e cover dadi Lumba ana se eyede ba ade ya ebusua yenya bre yenya daje ye monrem ye konkotie ni nyina emra ye ba ye so yetimi abeche ya adwen o comment section ho no
kai say wa reject exhibit no B1 na see no I reject no say obeto aso say I will consider the remaining exhibits meto aso na de aka no mahwe I will consider the remaining exhibits and evidence of the plaintiff's witness no nti ye mama Akosua Serwaa ne witnesses odi omo ba no also obe consider no so na wasanso so wa consider the exhibits na aka no obe consider and so say ye mama Akosua Serwaa tender in exhibit D and a D1 na ye pictures of our rear if you our rear na ono ne ye papa dadi Lumba ye no na omu wie ye no so say pictures no so obi objective to pictures no enti no wagi tu mu na wie no ka say plaintiff no attend no ye mama Georgina any witness ni nyina testify say that the Lumba ware ye mame Akosua Serwaa wo efie 1991 na omo modern aso say omo ema evidence to sa aware no na owie no okase paragraph 24 to 26 of evidence in chief of mame Gina asemu a odebeda court no SBG bisu was a series tendered in evidence of a video the deceased ye papa Lumba Moka said the 60th birthday no e will be View Village or refer to ye mama Akosua Serwaa as ne yere a odi ni sika e ware no kai ase me yere Akosua Serwaa matim sika ware no aye ne ho ade nti no e honom no court ne say the video rather purports or say the video supports that the Lumba married the plaintiff. That is a video that supports say that the Lumba ware ye mame e wo fie ne mu menye senye I say not otherwise, and this is more consistent with the admitted evidence on record. I say no edim na wo say mo record so mo di be nyina no enu mo prove say if ya ware bi ko so between that the Lumba ene ye mame Akosua Serwaa na mo menye court aware said ye wo mo ka no. It was this evidence was not this it was not disputed by the defendant. So see if any abusia penny or dobro no mu bia and so the enti asa me say ye papa Daddy Lumba wan ware ye maame Akosua Serwaa ewofie mu bia ni ho a omo anka so omu gitum omu nyina gitum se sa efia wade no de ewo ho enti sa no court no agye atum say ye maame Akosua Serwaa one Daddy Lumba ware ewofie eye efia ware customary marriage no enti as earlier mentioned no the customary marriage no potentially polygamous. The sense there is no limit as to how many wives Papa Lumba ubetimi aware. Say me yedi ka customary marriage no wasa mu ansha. Ko de kwhwanya sa class no, pa me lectures. It's na ne sa no say ni entimeto aso. I'll move on to the crux of the issue whether the plaintiff is the only surviving spouse. To say the second defendant odobroni ya mame odobroni o say o counter claim ye that is o tia ya mame Akosua Serwaa asem so no nkwa na yire ne say wo no so ware no ofie Daddy Lumba ware no ofie mra no wote ase nti ono so yire e ma Daddy Lumba na o say as indicated earlier no ono so bear the bed so be prove say ampa Daddy Lumba e ware no ofie na ono so free witness D2 witness no so be kasa fa ho say o ware Daddy Lumba ware no e wo fie na ono ankasa amba beyi abe kasa de na emom ne witness no ene ne interrogatory sa woji ano no under oath no eno e kasae Intending in actually says she was married to Daddy Lumba wo fie was also my list of busuaphobia no mo ka say say me happy say this say okay say your list of relatives bi so no mo wu but no mo wu aware na say enti ni witness no so ba you no so testify to the same okay say wo hu odobroni sometime in 2006 about 19 years ago no ka say odobroni any the disease no mo date for about 4 years and san wo mo ware e wo April 2010 mo wa chada ma date that point but was April 2010 it was the only witness that will testify that he was present at the customary marriage of the deceased or no pay any buy so what I say or no na buy nti D1 no or no buy no so tender in evidence 4 pictures a video is shared that the Lumba all refer to odobroni sene yere expressing o Canada or dono any o ka say odobroni hwe no one ne ma any sa ne ma nyina or the sa video no so ye den e be dan court o wie ye no mo sa de another video odobroni Daddy Lumba refer to odobroni maame say nase or refer to odobroni maame say nase no wie no ka say or say and saying that he has 2 mother-in-laws or two so wo and so no ma mienu so no ma mienu na che say odobroni maame ene ne nanaba enyina ye den etiase omo di video Daddy Lumba eje kasa asem no ewo mu no etimi e de bedan ko video yi e bedan court no court ni ji video yi nyina etum court ni ji video ni nyina atum na o ka say ni odobroni witness no my vivid account into no court ni asem bia na omo beka afa ho ni ma okeka yi nyina no o say ojitum na ye credible coherent and consistent na nsem no esisi so entutun sisi na emom esisi so kama into the evidence no so na contradicted and na oma credible answers so e wo court and na the evidence no or see the evidence of a single witness no or say na say nipa ba ko adanse no ye credible no is also reliable sufficient to say be prove an issue a we in dispute that is asem a bia entawantawa ba ho nipa ba ko adanse etimi eboa e ma ye bua sa asem no enti sa witnesses nyina no are weighed enti witness no ye weigh no enye numbers nya so di nipa bebere aba be kan asem no nipa ba ko asem etimi eboa me ebu asem dan nipa bebere a o masem no sisi so a endem atwanya na meka asem ye rad me nyama ni na meka nyama meka ana meka obrofo mun kan kire mo nyama meka wa ai enti no oka no it's one was into therefore a party does not prove its case by multiplicity of witnesses called that how page 34 me bo akoshe but by the quality or credible or reliable evidence led at the trial by himself or by his witness. But we are normal case. See Ghana Port and Harbours Authority versus Captain Ziem and or say the sorry, and Captain Zian versus Nova Complex. I know, sorry, or some Muzamba Disco Christian Church versus Yehuapia. It was furthermore, no, paragraph 18 of evidence in chief of D1A Ebusia Penino states that for the last 15 years that disease is not montension, Otina assassination, na one odobruni enete, and as one odobruni, the mammy odobruni ne worry. It was also say, ne oko baby, I know odobruni neko. Osia himfo osia president the titru fo nyina na one ne ne consent no odobroni illegally married wife wa ema e papa da de Lumba into say evidence we know ema me akozi say wa momo antiem evidence we ya omode maaye no ema me akozi say wa omo antiem omo nyam na make come yeah say me menya asemo. Also, the evidence was not challenged by the plaintiff. Omo antiem. You know, abusu penny for the pictures. Etre or no? Etre. Odobroni ane papa Lumba. Our public appearance and they who be oh. To see most of the pictures, they were dressed in similar colors. There's some color matching. With the disease holding the hand, is a Lumba aso odobroni inside na sisi. One dignitaries to say IGP Asia. And I was almost do the Brunima. Any Yamma Akosua say one ma a pictures. As also the die court. So the Brunima knew Akosua say one ma or Mudiacro or Mutibo man on way bibi. I'm not in a picture by picture name in young hobby. But I had no say. Into honor, no say Emma May and Estina, the sister of the deceased. Come on, no motor to no. Even though I can say odobroni ware daddy Lumba no also admitted say odobroni nase nekuma as she is caught on tape into omunya tape bia na ye mama Ernestina wo gi atum ona say wo frɛ odobroni nase ana nekuma de be no be nekuma wo ho frɛ ne nekuma I no mo frɛ na exhibit JB2 series I refer to her as ekuma konofo Medofu loving sister-in-law, any Rani Bisa. I say as her sweet sister-in-law, loving sister-in-law, among others. It is noted that the customary law marriage can even be accepted through the conduct of the parties during cohabitation and only as a bashon. Say customary marriage can formal, informal customary marriage, and no hona, mammy, Dorinda, all can. Say customary marriage if you are worrying you were quite bebre it's me eba into no has say no work actually say sa worry no e bet me I accepted through conduct said dem wa kasa mo kare mo ho sa mo ko nipa mu na mo fra mo ho se kunu ne yire na obi a mo busuafo nyina agi mutum se kunu ne yire obi agi mu se kunu ne yire it's me eba about as a customary marriage into can I say through long cohabitation 10 years 15 years it does not require documentary proof as marriages under ordinance. If you are no shade here, crata bia, I would be better say our rear, ebi a woman to set the ordinance marriage na ye mammy Akosua say where cano, o here cratano. Entino, ye mammy and Estina, ye busa say, Nebusia recognize it. So whether her own family has recognized or Moji mammy Akosua say what too. I say, oh ye papa Lumba, by giving her peep money or see him. Someone himself and time member no say kunani ni kunu firi mu a e bo say ebusua no bona konhoma o mu bisa mama Ernestina wa ha so onim so mo bo ye mama Akosua say wa akonhoma o so onim or see she does not know whether her family has notified the family of the plaintiff onim so mo de nsa akose ye mama Akosua say wa en na busua say say that the Lumba wu sene mra culture children and customs children so what I said amamre children. She expressed surprise when she was asked whether she knows the plaintiff is in court because she wants to be the only surviving spouse. It was say from Mubusa they say when him say ye mama Akosua say what the assembly ba court say ono nko na ye yere no asa ye say ye ne nwa kakra yam na me kamina no aro yam na me ko was say ne ni pay 35 page 35. What I say when me carry me na nya share dey for page number na kohwe. Ya page number na kohwe. O say She expressed surprise when she was asked whether she knows the plaintiff is in court. Is in court because she wants to be the only surviving widow of the deceased. Orion said the answers went like this. Question. So as you sit here, do you know the plaintiff wants the court? Do you know what the plaintiff wants the court to do for her? Or say yes, I know. And Musa says, so you know she wants the court to order that she's the only surviving spouse. Or say I don't know. Hey! I say I don't know. When you see, and my lady say, I don't want to say, yeah, mammy Ernestina. Or say, what you two say, or Kosra. Or see who admitted visiting Daddy Lumba, the deceased. Any other brony, Abra or Mu or Moba with the kind. Any near, and near Otoshumi and Saprano, yet to no, or Moto Bedin. Say what me dear dance here say odobroni enya yere o say ye no nwanwa e na e nwanwa o say ye nwanwa san say ya watu bedi nyina wu nti na ye no e court nwanwa nti from her own ancestors na the cross examination she has been very active e wo odobroni ene Daddy Lumba aware mu so e confirm say na odobroni tie friend pa. According to her crown, Daddy Lumba, sheda, catcher, say one baby, Emma or Dobruni, any or last born, no, Germany said a bear or maybe the passports. For the audios now, or they come out Dobruni, no, as see or Dobruni the back, or that is Dobruni the audios, no, JB. Evidence JBC with Namaka, no. Our the bars, now Mammy Ernestina succeeded. I would deny, no, as I deny, say, or names or Dobrunia, Wari, Lumba, Nase, or Yenekuma, which is a course, never like a crap. A course, never like a crap. Counsel for the plaintiff, as also Troye, I want a written address, we say an issue was raised about the venue of customary marriage. Show, I have said, Hanity. Akosua say wa lawyer. O raise issue say baby ayeye odobroni hu ade no. Baby ayeye odobroni hu ade no. Odobroni ni Lumba ware ye no. Omo ye wo Lumba fie. Lawyer phone nyina ye say. They say na lawyer phone na yo money mo ase mo home. Already she said baby ayeye odobroni hu ade no. Eye wo Lumba fie. I have noted some marriages are contracted at event places. Oh no, judge and say me who say ware bi o haye ji wo event center. Baby a hotel, baby a park. Ni senti no. So mu hia wo Lumba fie na omo ware odobroni no. Entimi masa awade na enye invalid. Ana say entimi enye enu ntini e beka sa awade no. Enye awade papa wo mrem. Enti ni ehia pa ne say parties mienu no wo mu gitu mu so mbe ware. Na ebusua panyin ne je odobroni trinsa. Ohun ade pronti a won ton mani nyintum say sa aware wi na ejinem. So na bomo. Nto wi ya no say counsel for the plaintiff. O see o raise on wow. Eye Mami Akosua say wa lawyer no. O say raise questions say photograph bi a exhibit BCKF2 a omo tender in evidence by eye busua panyin indicating a picture of Papa Lumba any odobroni o say it's a picture omo twaye abra Lumba omo ye Lumba interview say omo wariwie ye no omo ye ni interview now already no indicate say busua panyin no ni friend say I said no one share the name Lumba obranimu asem papa enti no wadi kan indicated that enti therefore she finds that a fact say odobroni na waware oni Lumba wari fia ware ansa na wo also no or finding as a fact say omo ware in 2010 having so determined no that is they say wajia tumusa no ya Mami Akosua say wa onu kwantimi nka say ono na ye papa Lumba eyere baako only surviving spouse. And so say I must state that even if they had contracted a marriage, even if they had contracted a customer, ewa asante amamre mu no, so omo ware ofie mpo ewo 2010 mu a sene PW2 ebe kan ye na expert witness na omo de ne ba ya obeka asante aware ye ho no ama echese odoburuni oye yere mo guys I expect witness na sem expert witness na ye maami Akosua Serwaa lawyer okofa ye no ye expert witness oni masante amamre ene asante aware ye asem yes sir or expert witness no medical consent we are making what's the decision sa expert witness na asem obeka yinti no ye gina so aka say odobruni wo ye yere me da ase yes see expert witness now e ma me Akosua Serwaa lawyer de ne ba ye no na asem obeka yinti no odobruni wo ye yere anana wabeye yere had become tina wabeye yere of that Lumba. Esan say ye wo kwan bebre so a customary marriage and if you aware no utimi eye no na e ko beyond celebration ntino witness no ema expert witness ne ma kwan bebre so a ubetimi ana say relationship ayongo fe da oba ne be mantem e betimi afa ne say eye amamre aware ana say fi aware. Now, one of such no is when an elderly man and I say Papa Penny one will run into a morals, not as a penetrim, any ababa, one ababa will run penetrim one. Na say a busiano one. Na obana busiano. Let's not say, or money bearman, it's not say, no more accept say, obana is a bearman and cottonas the yera. Obana bearman, or my bay, or kununere. And I say obema enye moba that's what genius any tune what to akwara ni dia eno so e kire say o ma beye ekunu ene yeyere na sa asem we nyina sa ne ma we nyina e ma odi mi sa empatry no asaware nti they are deemed as husband and wife that ani na ekomu nyeme ne say nti if you are worried emra no wo mu say ye wo amamre bi ni amane bi a ye ene sa ne man ne mumu no there are times ye wo enkrofo bi so a wo mfa sa akwan ne so se ne ya prescribe na na se ne da ho se wo mo ye de efa so no nenso abusua no agi aware ni tum say ya aware se ne expert witness no ye ma me Akosua Serwaa de ne ba ye no ebe confirm ye no enti efiri ne ye keka nyina so no 11 issues ni nyina ye boa they been determined. Enti I move on to the other leg of the second issue to also will call the second leg of the other issue and only say e was say ye ma me Akosua Serwaa wono nko an edikuna senior or pese court no yemano no as the only surviving spouse nana into a how or bekasafa widowhood rights eye kunadie ho o say eye kunadie ni custom ni cultural practice incidental custom and cultural practice say obi ewu a yeyema ebusua no in a sense ni say obi kunu ana say ne yere efiri mu a so they do as part no na say nipa na awu no ne body no ekọ nechi eye na busua ho ntimuti ase na moye mo ho dia na mu wudi abody ne kọ ho ebusua ne ho nti wotu ase dia otumi ye ukunu na oyere dia wu a onipadua no eye wabusua dia nti ekọ nechi o chirechire mu wa ha ame no ya de chira de wa ha pa nti no se saa so na e wada de Lumba asemi mu a o sa ya santini na busua no esa akọ ne matrimonial matrilineal lineage ye frɛ omo royal family of Akosua eni insuta omo ho na Daddy Lumba omo ne own the body no nti no say the performance of widowhood rights so be di kuna no and an entitlement. As I say, you need to be married. There was a worry near Wewuno. To one worry and don't mean quiet, whom could Dikuna Mampana, a Dikuna, Emma, near Wawar and Wayera and Ase Wukunu, San watch the train. Nti, Obi and Wakase. And the sense, it cannot also be used to disinherit a surviving spouse. Name some man will be a Dikuna, won't be cast away Dikuna Nintino, woman in Dikuna dear, and a woman in the Yeradi or Kawaha. Intino, no, sir, cultural injustice, no PNDC law 1119, so okay, PNDC law 1985, and no addresses our issue, no, into widowhood, no, a writer, it has to be performed. So what I say, I determined by customs, name momentre, new bedia dear, new wundia dear, na your home sense, munano, a ma penny a webushimuno, womana etre. Into we no to asoka say, expert witness na I didn't buy ya, Obeka Safa, Ashanti culture hono. Asante amamere hono ono o say ye no o ka say ye both spiritual and physical enti no say obi nya yere a o say therefore if there is a wife or their wife say what any pakro no wo yekuna so obi ye yere a wo so yekuna esan say asante amamere ne spiritual ye spiritual and physical enti wo ye yere wo say wo yekuna enti no emma no it is the women who are enti man na ya yo mo ho ade wo fie no wo mo ena saa mmere yi ekata omo so nti sa wo yenye wo ade ofia wontimi nkonkodi kuna enti no enema bi a expert witness no keka ye eni bi nsem ba ko ene se ye wade bi e betimi agina so aka se ma wo yiri bi endi kuna na ene wo se ya nsa abusua bi ehwe se aware no na bi a ba bi aware na dru na aware na gu ana se wo mo de hye no ne yere no ene na antena yie ana se woni na antena se woye na sede so woyere a abusua no etimi ejina ejai ya na se omo preventi obi se obeye kuna enti na times no successfully bi also a oyere ne kokopa acho na omo de dwantoa akwakoma oyere eto de bi so a oba no etimi de acho pa ekokoma okunu na busua na omo asai agina tum na omo aye nhihye ya apene ama na di kuna no enti saa anu ye ya expert witness or the buy so such for witness of the plaintiff my Akosua say witness the buy no na che say ekunadie no ejina that the Lumba busua so nti no mo na nti they decide based on how the spouse treated their deceased relative so what I say ne sense na busua no that the Lumba busua no and they say wo mu decide nia wo ye yere a o mo pese wodi kuna nti say busua no eje kunani biniama tumu a de omudi dware no ne adisiedie ene ye ho ne ma ne nyina no so omudi tumu a na che say it is pertinent for a spouse to respect and live peace na che say what say oni wukunu abusua na say wo yire abusua etena yie na motena asundue mu se ne be ya sa ne ma we eba ombepene ama watimi ayede edikuna awarigo divorce awarigo asaso kasafa awarigo ye divorce also the combined understanding say working kind the law of family in relation to Ghana I know WCA ko Daniel Senatroye or refer to page 319 ye bi dankwa the extra judicial divorce procedure any William Ye of a book wa no so try of family law mu Ghana family law mu 4th edition page 172 no say a kwanya ye fast so that is dissolution of customary law together with evidence of PW22 of us our books in omo ensebo mo tro fa aware ye fia aware go mu na ode PW2 I expect witness na Mama Akosua say wa modern baaye no ode ono so na no asem ka ho na o ka say o pese ugu asante aware a untimi anya ne sa abra unhie abusua mienu nyina untimi ngu asante aware abra unhie abusua mienu nyina also no e was say nia odi ya wana say ni opese ugu aware no e was what they complain echo so what I say also what they complain tiko na the parties no so no e was say yeti omo asem according to the rules of natural justice na was say wutie masem na mesusu ma me kwan na mesusu me yede e come asem na say na mesusu tie wasem so the right to be heard what I say na we so wuntimi nye a judge wo wa wasem those two principles no was say no so ebem nti party bia was say ma party bia Emma ni ekanasem na odi nasem so. You will pay 38 kakra ye It's pay 38 no. Aye. Into obusa ohonom no so no osaso ebusa se na so mutie nsem ne mienu ni nyina no mu hu se also mo try so mo beka mabom na se nkabom na anye yie dia ene na chese also oba no e de be ma ne tirinsa ebre na busua na ejapade bi wo wontemu a ya cha mo na especially se dwaman be mu a ya che ejapade no na impata ya bem especially se dwaman e be mu a na impata bem na ebusua panyin no anase head of family no be ma na ebusua panyin no and they also make a pronouncement say that is, there has to be a pronouncement e free ebusua panyin ho say aware no egu nti omo de oba no asama na ebusuafo saa na ema we nyina o state as a check kwan a ema efi aware egu nti o se de ye wo mre bi wo no mo a meeting we no, it will not end with the dissolution but a baby reconciliation se nyini nyina na mo tena se a egu aware na bi wo ha ye di se aware no empo no se ye hia se bi gu aware na bi wo no mo anti ase etimi ye adwuma ema ye di sie na chese oba no we nya mfa nsa na anko. It was also referred to the Matrimonial Causes Act of 1971, Act 367, no ka say Emra govern the dissolution of monogamous marriage, ordinance marriage and a court marriage. So they say court in the jurisdiction say wo mugu aware. You know when the court ni beti me gu na aware ni edi kan yi se nipa ni a citizen of Ghana. And I say what Ghana domiciled, no. Te beti na ba say what US, but you are domiciled in Ghana. And domicile next citizen that could make it no domiciled in Ghana has been ordinarily resident in Ghana or at least what na has say 3 years abro so preceding time I will file divorce now was so Ghana mra and as a Ghana court ebetimi egu aware na was a party be approved to court and say aware na egu kura ye hunhwea enye ye eno nkwa is the sole ground out me digina so awode ye de udi gu aware notwithstanding that no what raw or the other reasons are ubetimi agina so e de egu aware ba ko ya adultery, unreasonable behavior, desertion, separation without consent and also for 2 years and 5 years of separation without consent ni na ye nema agina so ye de e de gu aware. Inti parties na ntimi ankoma asem a court no ebetimi agina sansem ebia so e de egu no inti ebi on ma court ni timi hu one or more of their reasons ni nyina otimi gina so etimi de gu aware no inti age se court na satisfy no ho sa aware no ye hwehwe a enye yi enye sa court no onye de omu no inti no obi otimi de na aware ko court is mo nko try reconciliation court is mo nko try reconciliation after the rules o makwa try reconciliation about 2 years o meba na oba na nyam no mo chantuma ba ko efra no so ehun ase ne bi no it is pa na me say o de wo client wa ko file divorce akọ court na o say ye nsia wo court beba no de ni kunu sha atade ba ko ye hun se I say yeah, onu the only record bi a eche say ye ma me Akosua Serwaa ni Lumba omu ja awade letter ne pe na ewo ho na letter ne so enchere se omu de ni tirinsa esa akokoma Lumba ebusua into the next issue ne say oba be decide say plaintiff ni Lumba no 17 years na omu tena in the constitute abandonment na so kai say maybe one year 5 na edigu aware ne so no say montematete for 2 years montematete for 5 years we ka 17 years into no e matter na e was a court obeka say na de waka nyina idea say just aware no e wo ho no mu na emom no because of some mara into no so determine ni nyina na wo tse mara na siye into no sign e boss into we say afi na wo be determine na waka say from any ama o makeka na witnesses o mo dia banyina no e che say that the Lumba esa aba Ghana 2013 and a lawful attorney no e kasa omubusa no 2013 no mubusa so on the record no that Lumba or relocated to Ghana permanent and I say 2007 or 2000 no see there be or no the last time who that the Lumba was Germany no 2014 but permanently ni dey ohun no 2017 no mo say then after she had denied already giving answers until later no osa be deny answers here with their menyina and that is also many evidence ni why ha. But you agree with me that at some point the disease relocated to Ghana also beja to say edrume bia that the Lumba start to betina Ghana ɔse oni ma fikra ba Daddy Lumba ba Ghana na onsa busa ne se obetimi a kire mmere a Akosua Serwaa so relocate from Germany eba Ghana na ɔse no there bi Akosua Serwaa relocate free Germany amba Ghana enti da attending me ka attending bi no say Akosua Serwaa Adamfo Georgina na eka say the attorney could not answer most questions averred enti na just say bebira yebusa no wentimi anyi ano na already na wadi ka boso say Akosua Serwaa entimi entu any that Lumba entu amba because na was say otua mortgage ka no show mo ma no wo ho say sanse no mususa na owolo bi susu na e was say one that Lumba age a e was say omutua eka enti na ono no wentimi nyeden enja ehonom embaga edina divorce kwa ochechwe mu divorce na asa awarigo enti yenera during that ochechwe mu no say under cross examination ka cross examination na say summary defendant ne lawyer enti ya ebusia panyin ene modobro ne lawyer etoto ya mama Akosua Serwaa ejina musini a obe di adanse ma no omo toto na no wenti mi anhada ama details bia ena nsem bi ono ma odinaye no outright what I say enti no ase na ne answers no o evade answers or see evasive answers enko no ono asa contradict ono any evidence enti na se na won hyeda ani masem ne ho kra ena alleged loan na okeka ho asem ne nyina no wan hyeda ebo no bank na oka ho asem bank omuji loan ni free ho date omuji loan ni hwan ya ji loan ni nyina wentimi answer court no na saa so na omu under cross examination omu sabusa ne se mortgage na wose mama Akosua Serwaa atua no eno so omu busa ne ho asem no busa ne se na obeje atum se mama Akosua Serwaa oye ne yere anase ne wifely duties ema Daddy Lumba bra na ose Ghana na ose wono na owo Germany na Akosua Serwaa wo Germany no ni Ghana no omu sabusa ne se nti samre na Lumba wo Ghana no na Akosua Serwaa ena ye in charge of the properties in the business ewo Germany na o say I believe so nti wanka yes or no na mum accessa ana me gidi sesa enti no o say sa answers we na confirm say mama Akosua Serwaa wentu ama Ghana on Lumba entu ama Ghana na me ho aso na from clear evidence on the record say we free Germany e ba Ghana for medical attention enti empo say ne attorney no e ka say in 2013 no same cannot be correct say same cannot be correct because ono one kasa ni evidence o ma paragraph 19 chere say mama Akosua Serwaa ba Ghana 2011 2012 2014 na 2018 say ye di kan aboso no enti no if say Daddy Lumba e ba Ghana 2013 and na chere say mama Akosua Serwaa na enye possible say with me be sra no 2011 2012 because na that time no Daddy Lumba any Ghana enti was in same way to see in any case no sad date we odobroni ese enya no kre esa say sad time no na one na ware na one na sit Tantra Hill enti no ansakwa no mubeto akọ easily go 2016 mu ono wode ne nkrata aba e wo record so enti sa facts we nyina PW1 aka say na D2 so ne net no ni nyina na chese from 2010 to 2016 there enya possible say sa asemi esi na mum na oni odobroni na ye de ete Tantra Hills na waka say me no paragraph 8 no of the statement of claim of mama Akosua Serwaa no ka say omo won kwada miensa 31 24 na 20 na sa so na omo say repeat of paragraph 13 ewo evidence in chief of attorney no eso asemu na evidence ni say omo last child na the 20 no se si ano pe ono an evidence o kan ye na chese de na plaintiff no at the time Daddy Lumba e ba na chese won na si akora because it's not just time I work can na chese that time na akora no isha omo last born isha inte chese na Daddy Lumba e relocate ba Ghana 2005 or 2006 no enye na emom enye 2013 as the last born was 12 years and definitely not being nursed or breastfed at the age of I just say time I over no na ne ba no edi 12 enti na nya possible say woda no fo ano enti o say I followed from the plaintiff's own account say me anka o say ono anka sa wo hwe mama Akosua Serwaa na account na no hu say Daddy Lumba na wawo Ghana bear 19 years. Wawo Ghana bear 19 years, which is consistent with send ebusua penyin kan ye no say wo hia odobroni any that the Lumba 2006 no mu date for bear 4 years. There be onye busua penyin ne kan ye odobroni witness no. Odobroni witness no. On ADW1. Wo hia omo na omo date bear 4 years and san omo wari 2010. Enti no court no obetimi safely akase that the Lumba relocated to Ghana e wo be 2006, that is about 19 years ago. And that the Lumba court ne will relocate ba Ghana. Divorce wa baby a court ne church mo wa go ne say aware ne na egu ana say engu ye no ogusu church na ogusu church osaso be ka say enya possible say 2011 ya mama Akosua say wa be shada do me say odobroni ne first born no or in 2011 nti sa visit na omo tro say 2011 ye no enti me nya no pre no I say even if she did that and you say no crest wo ba ya want na ni kuru that the Lumba nchen esan say na odobroni ene that the Lumba ena na ete ho enti no ne e wo kan ye no enimu saa o say enti me nya no pre esan say na saa time no na odobroni ni Lumba ne tetantra hill na or say what is mentioned and not disputed and he say Akosua Serwaa eba Ghana in 2008 to be seen in mama no cre na account na omoka say or say the account is not disputed by any of the parties or say answer no the party no obia anka say no cre and as like obia entiam say no cre nti obia gitum Akosua Serwaa ba Ghana 2018 be ye ni mama ye na or say na sambre no so no watantra abra na Lumba any odobroni ewo islegon senior ne witness no ekan under cross examination no na just say court na chira time ay mama Akosua Serwaa ba ya obeye ne mama ayi no na ono kotena atatra hill na da the Lumba ni odobroni eneti islegon nti islegon ho na da the Lumba efiri koye ne mama ayi ninsi yi no ende minimum you and I were not there sana court ne say ono de ohwese de ne de ma betutu nanimu a we in feature under cross examination no ne ohun ye no enti whether 19 17 or 15 years no say emfa ho ne o say 19 or 15 years o e betimi a che say sa emre are more than enough to confirm say Lumba any ya mama Akosua Serwaa they had decided to stay apart, you know. Enti is not disputed say Lumba nya surgery surgery will focus 2013 will focus and Akosua Serwaa amambesra no enti from D1 exhibit no ya ebusia panyi na exhibit no video no continuation of plaintiff no exhibit gene Lumba eka say he was bedridden for more than 5 years and expressed his gratitude to odobroni say ohwe ni ye emra na oyare no enti odobroni witness no so confirm say na Lumba oti akonwa moti wheelchair mu wheelchair minim wheelchair abra ono kosra in 2013 abra o yes surgery video no so wo hwa e kire say odobroni na Lumba na nkasa eka say obeye bedridden and so beda mpem ebro 5 years na ono Lumba no na ontimi enko Germany until 2014 na omo state say attorney no mama George na ka say oko no no so na enye no kre enti baako ade baako ye clear say na Akosua Serwaa ma no omo besra omo papa eni odobroni ewo efie during omo summer vacation na pictures so wo hwa corroborate sa payment nyina odobroni mo de beda in court sa aside pictures nizo nyina no omo de baaye no assertions say nkra no ekosra omo papa that the Lumba no na omo ni ono eni odobroni net na aye no eno so ewo enti question ne say Akosua Serwaa oja that the Lumba ware ewo ni emra no ote ase ana na wo hwe evidence ya court no abeda court nanimu a o say answer no in the negative esan say according to exhibit DL1 no letter written to the deceased Akosua Serwaa man lawyers for tro no woman 10 days say one farm proceed to German court for divorce na sa letter no so no address no to ye papa Lumba nankasa plaintiff no so work copy na sa letter no so embo Akosua say wedding na ne reply no e paragraph 9 11 and 17 no e na ne lawful attorney no so ka say e deny say o ma ne lawyers no instructions say o mo ntro no o mu lebu na fictitious enti plaintiff no mama Akosua say one reply to D1 was in direct reference to exhibit DL1 no sa letter no eno na ono oyi ano mention wa paragraph 7 no of her reply to D1 say ono she reluctantly agreed say ma and na say na compensate Lumba beba Ghana so as I say but no super so oba no be pe kwan obefa so asa ne ho yare e wo Ghana ha in paragraph 6 of the same reply no oka say she was ono na ehwe ye papa Lumba abra no wo Germany ansa na wo ye na adwen say obeba Ghana ba be pe nsahwe sa so na wo record so say omo admitted by the lawful attorney say ye papa Lumba no wo japade any ndwuma e wo Germany na eno na ye mama Akosua o hwe so e ma no e wo ho ono na gihwe so ma no wo ho nti sa nyama we nyina e che say ne o plan say wo tu abagana wan sorry enja he did not leave. He would not have left when he knew of a financial burden without making necessary provision. That is it. Wan sorry enja kan to na chi wo German ho sede ye mama Akosua say wa attorney no e kan wo court no nti bibi sa anka obesiesie na chi he would have made without making the necessary provisions. Pato he will pay 43 year nya wotre. And due to the fact say Lumba only around our no akasa be di na asem ana so ba be yi na asem ano ni allegation yi even though all indications nature say Lumba e deny allegations ni nyina ewo say ye no ye kan krata na e mo exchange ye no so as I say between mama Akosua say one Lumba no san krata no ho asem na say omo okay court na ye cautious say obe admit any evidence Lumba any hono mo so be yi ne ho ano nti court no empese san sensem ni dey say plenty for no watwa ama yi na wu Lumba ewu awie nti no sa issues no court no will not on address sa issues no nti owie ye na obeka say emra no settled say we make attempt to say we charge a dead person in a matter won't asia see he might have said the court said dey go be yasem na no na won't asia nti no ontimi enyi asem na no ne sense e clear on the record say ye mama Akosua say wa any Lumba omo anhye matrimonial home omo antina sa wa reform nka ne sa when the disease relocated to Ghana at the time we free Germany that Lumba free Germany ba Ghana no court this omo antina sa wa reform na mum no the that the Lumba ni odobro ni netina ne fie e wo Tantra Hill and sana omutu ako islikon na paragraph 8 and 10 hona aircon 8 to 10 hona aircon no mo ka say hono mo no D1 no which is ebusuapanyi ne ka say Akosua say wakra de nsa ebre ko na ebusua say nkopesu ogu aware no na ono osa ka say ebusuapanyi no na sa time no wo no gitumu or say with the consent of Ojitumu na obusa Lumba that is a consent of that Lumba no sa na ebusuapanyi kan Ojitumu say insano mu di gu aware na nema na ewo so omo ye ni nyina omo ye na ebusua mi ni nyina so Ojitumu sa aware no egu sa na ebusuapanyi so ekan na o supporting the evidence with letter na ye kan wasem being a copy of a letter Akosua Serwaa lawyers Mesa and company etro ye edibre that Lumba one Benjamin and Pomana assign ye enti ne hono no na ono a ebusuapanyi na da so nyina ebusuapanyi no so cross examination admit say samre ya asemi a working o si no ni ho ebusuapanyi si no ni ho o si he was not present o si mra o mode drinks no buy he was not present and now also no he did not hear about it and that is why ono no na odaso say Akosua Serwaa yere emada de Lumba no enti according to him no ono na onim Akosua Serwaa pe na onim odobroni until say Lumba wu ye yi na okofie ono okohu odobroni enti he says say at that time no at the time ohu odobroni no na odobroni aware that the Lumba de da wona na wo nkwada 6 ensia na my lady say o say oka say osaka ka ho say ebusuapanyi no oni ho enti no onim I think he did not know much about the happenings of the family. Oni niema na ekoso abusuani. Osapani. Oni niema na ekoso abusuani. Enti nkoso ofra abusuani fofora no wo ho. Na nkasa abusuani foforo no mum ebedi adanse e wo nsemi a wo kekekeka na nsemi a wo pejepija wa hei so. Enti no I have no doubt to say sa letter no Akosua Serwaa lawyers na choro yes na my lady ka na emom no said the wedding kan aka no say Akosua Serwaa ya mama Akosua Serwaa na had already admitted in the say or choro letter no nti na nya de a matter of contention I was say osi hu ginaye na osaso ka say contents of letter no enko a entimi ngina say ne say nti no na ya mama Akosua Serwaa or the nitrin sa Lumba tuaye no asa akoma na busia na asante amamre no sa ukaya edika aka kwan ya baba so a ubegu aware enti no sa ekwan ni nyina no onu hu ne say crucial enti no reconciliation anye yi ana ensa no omoje na ebusapanyi wasa ka se no oni ho enti no sa material witness into sansemi a wo kanyina ene de wo keke nyina no ontimi enya de enyina so nti ebi wo no kra etimi de nsa no kwa busua ne nje na ne nyina no aware na enya de engu ye ebusapanyi no na onya aware of anything na eheda afa Lumba ho ena Akosua Serwaa so asach no na evidence no court ntimi ngina ebusapanyi na evidence so nkase aware no egu enti no one Akosua Serwaa lawyer na ya adwen won written statements ni mu say intention to dissolve the marriage no could not be equated to an act could not be equated to actual dissolution. Yes, enti na chese woye na adwen so obejai no ntimi nka se wajai me ye madwe se meja aware no nche se meja aware yesa na Akosua Serwaa lawyer ne kan na court ne so won ne ya adwene wo ho no enti at best no ezibidi wa no it can letter na omuka say mama Akosua Serwaa etworoye no it can only be seen as an intention expressed by mama Akosua Serwaa say obeja aware ne mum na enye se no kuremu no waye de obeja aware
nese so mi nyina ne agibra kwa akotie ede aba no de wote de ohuye de wura asum a ususu na de na wodwen suggestion ana question wo de fa ku comment section wono e fama me share video yi e ma foforo bi enya bi enhwe live in Ghana TV suni midin de atre